How do you fully renovate your toilet from a dirty yellow tube to this? It's actually simple. You have all the answers in this video. How did I manage to install the frame on a wooden floor and remove a plasterboard so it would hold? The answer is in this video. Before taking everything apart, I'll discuss two things with you. The first is Eco Minero. There's a link in the description that leads to an interactive map. Instead of wasting time at the recycling center or worse, illegally dumping waste, which still happens too often. Eco Minero. You'll find a collection point very close to your home. In my case, in Bois, it's a dealer. I take the opportunity to drop off my rubble and pick up or place an order. So there's a link in the description about Eco Minero. You enter the postal code, you'll find your collection point, and you'll see that it's super simple and you won't waste any more time. There are no more illegal dumping sites, that's finished. It's good for the planet and we work cleanly. Second thing, it's about choosing a utility vehicle. I want to change my utility vehicle and I need your advice. I created a small survey. Same thing, the link is in the description. I want to know what kind of utility vehicle you have. Which model? I prefer a combustion engine in L2H1. What brand do you have? What kind of work do you do? Are you happy with it? How long have you had it? Why do you recommend this model to me? Basically everything. Go ahead and share. Depending on the results, I'll run the same survey on Instagram to see which model wins. We'll analyze everything and why not make some videos too. Financing, selecting a vehicle or renting. Anyway, there are so many things. Thank you. To see regarding the choice of a utility vehicle and how to finance it that it's worth filming. Okay, we're demolishing this toilet, redoing everything and installing a wall-hung frame on a wooden floor facing a flat panel. So, a 2 square meter toilet area right here, also 2 square meters, so 2 plus 2 equals 4 square meters by breaking down this partition. So we're going to make a very large toilet. The door also gets removed. The water supply there, it comes up right here. We're clearing everything out. The water heater, that's going out to a shelf. This beautiful ashtray is going out too. I'm not sure what that's for. It's a paper dispenser, another paper dispenser, the toilet brush, all of that, that's going out. The sponge, and of course the soap dispenser. So we break everything. We get rid of everything. Under the soft floor, there are 30 mm thick particle board tiles hidden. I tried to check, but I don't have access underneath or to the other offices. So I should have put in a beam. I won't enjoy taking apart the whole floor since I'd have to cut it, which would weaken it. So we'll just leave it as is. Of course, we'll secure it to the floor, but we're going to build an entire structure on the metal framework because we're in a building. Metal framework. Whether it's a metal framework or a wooden one, it doesn't matter. The principle will be the same. So we go down a structure to reattach the frame to the structure. This is a partition made of plasterboard. That's not enough either, even with reinforcements. That's not enough since we're just on a wooden floor. So we remove the tiles from the ceiling. We'll check what's underneath, reattach to the metal framework and make it extra sturdy. We can hang from the frame, it won't budge. Sous-titling no. Non. Ah. So I wonder if there wasn't a leveling of the pour, because I saw that it was coming up. I was thinking, that's strange. It's coming up there. It was coming up all around there. So here there will be a wall covering in front. So honestly, I don't really care, but here I think it's strange. So I cut all around and it cuts really well. Just a swipe with a utility knife. Peeling it off took me 10 minutes since it comes off bit by bit. It was a nightmare. I tried with the scraper. It gets stuck in the neoprene glue. I'm going to ruin I don't know how many blades and I don't know how much time I'm going to spend on this. We're not excited about this floor. I'll fill that with glue. Tiles here as well, and then it'll end up with polyvinyl chloride tiles on top. Originally it was supposed to be tiles, but I don't want to bother with a floor. Honestly, it's not worth it. They're just toilets and companies. You see what I mean? I set up the laser, it determines the alignment for me. Up to the metal framework, we're going to create a structure with support rails. Because here, I don't have anything on the ceiling to support my frame. I told you, the plasterboard and wood floor won't support my frame. I have to rely on this framework. And we're going to use support rails, the Hilti MT50. I'll put all the links in the description for you. With many rails and connectors, you can do a lot with these support rails and real structures. But basically the support rail, it's made to support ventilation systems, air conditioning, plumbing networks, electrical networks, sprinklers, fire protection systems, and so on. I'm going to go from beam to beam and we'll put another rail in that direction. We'll come down with 2 studs, so support rails. Alright, it's fine for now. We'll add the other screws with thread locker, but to explain to you, I need to brace myself on this beam. I shouldn't climb too high, because if I go too high, obviously I'll go over the beam. Since we have a slope here, you understand? So here. So I'm lucky because by putting in the support rail, I have about 1.5 centimeters left, so it fits. And here I'm level. I absolutely need to be level so I can go down later with the support rails. Since we're going to put a crossbeam like this, it can't be slanted, because if it's slanted, it's definitely going to cause me problems. We're level now, so we can add the other screws. I'll use thread locker. So I take the support rail, I put a screw through it. And the idea is for the screw to go into the hole that's right here. So we're going to put it through like this. You see, it's going to hold. So we press it against this beam up to here. So that's already pretty good. So we put it through like this, and there we go. And the idea is to turn, to push the screw a bit and for it to fall inside. There we go. Perfect. Now we line it up. Washer, lock, thread, small nut. Done. We do the same for its little buddy. We put ourselves here. There we go. We tighten the screw a bit, we turn it, and there you have it. We position ourselves like this, and on this side, we'll add the brackets I showed you earlier. We're looking good. So we retrieve it. Now I can slide my finger through perfectly. Washer. And the little nut, if I can manage to position it. All right, I'll tighten that later with the bracket. There we go. So the bracket, nothing complicated. Either you put it on beforehand or you forget to put it on. And so you put this part over the top on the rail. Place the plate and 2 nuts, then tighten them. This plate fits the rail to prevent it from turning. It's that simple. So here I just have to tighten it by hand. For now, I'm not tightening anything since I still have my part, which will come like this. So the rail will come in this direction. And if I ever need to move it or change it again, we'll tighten everything at the end, add thread locker, and trim the excess here. and there you go. So here it's tightened by hand, and I could hang from it afterward. So the whole frame support. Valsir. The little reference that appears, there's a link in the description. Valsir is an Italian company. They specialize in plumbing, heating, sanitary systems, and water supply with multi-layer pipes. We'll see that soon with all the fittings. Drainage with a pipe without gluing. There's a seal. We'll also see that in a little while. So if you need a shower trap flush with the floor to create a walk-in shower, they have it. If you need it. To install support frames, they offer a comprehensive catalog with all fittings and every type of drain in all diameters. So bathroom sanitary heating frame support, I really encourage you to discover their world. It's very comprehensive, like I said, and all the links are in the description. This box, Hop, what's inside it? The box for the trigger plates. So the famous pipe, okay, which moves in all directions. That's essential. If you're straight, well, you put it this way. If you're bent like this, if you're slightly off center, you can cheat. If you're straight, slightly off center, you can cheat as well. So this accessory is essential. Next, we have the pipe that will be used to receive the bowl when we finish the installation. So 2 plaster boards plus the tiles, no matter what you put in front, it's this that will hold the bowl, the tiles with the little caps that fit, the anchors and screws for mounting. Exactly, it's very thorough. And the frame, the support frame is black, very sturdy, and clearly high quality. It won't collapse. With the structure we're adding, I guarantee it can hold 15 people. Thank you. So this frame, it's going to go in this direction. We'll secure the small structure to the ground, as I mentioned, then build the rest. But for now, I need to put it in place to determine the vertical alignment and that it, with the laser, it projects the alignment onto the ceiling so I can build my structure on this metal frame. Okay, let's set it up. We'll use 2 screws for now. It holds by itself, see? I don't even need to fix it, but we'll add screws just in case. Next, we'll address the structure and lower the 2 support rails on each side. If you're on your concrete slab, you've allowed 4 centimeters of space plus the tiles. With the tile adhesive, it's about 5 centimeters. Then screw the feet to the concrete slab. 4 centimeters of space plus 1 centimeter for the tile and tile adhesive. Your frame should be 1 meter and 5 centimeters with a marker at that level of the tank that allows you to set it at exactly 1 meter. Done. So for now, a 13mm wrench or a 13mm wrench on the impact driver. We loosen it slightly. There we go. And there you go. So they're going to come like this and we'll be able to screw them in directly. So if you want to put them in, since you don't have much space on the sides, you can arrange them however you like. Here's the plan. We'll do this, then lower our rail and secure it with brackets. We'll go over it soon. So the idea is to put them... There we go. And now we tighten it. And so now the idea is to determine the depth. So let's do that. This line I showed you earlier goes in all directions. We're going to attach it under the frame, and that's what's going to determine the depth. In relation to the drain and my alignment, in relation to the partition, with the laser that will project up to my 2 rails up there, so I can align with my rails on the sides, so I put the frame on backwards. It's easier for you to film the mounting for the large drain pipe. We have this small part that we're going to position here. We press and it snaps in. Then we take this piece and it will go here. Here we lower this and it will snap in at this point. If I need to remove it, I press and hold it. It's as simple as that. That's it. So I put it up to stick like this, then I can go straight back. On the fittings from Valsir, we have seals. So from now on, there's no more gluing in the joints. That's all there is to do. The advantage is that we save a lot of time because of the polyvinyl chloride gluing. You have to do a first dry fit, mark everything, take it all apart, clean it, apply the glue, and put it all back together. From here, I just apply lubricant and connect. My first assembly is also my final assembly. The other advantage is that it's super easy to take apart, to use a pressure washer, a drain snake, a water jet inside, whatever you want. So everything can be taken apart from here. Actually, I can remove everything. And so now we're going to start again for the hand basin, and here, my drain pipe for the toilet, and the same for the vents. For now, I just set a small height to film it for you. It's easier. It's going all the way up there. I have my packages to put in mainly for the vents. Boom, we fit it together. So we're going to lubricate the fitting because here we have a seal here to prevent seal damage and ensure easy assembly. Some lubricant. And there you go. And the advantage? So first of all, it's a pipe that can move in any direction. But yes, you can adjust it. Because it's not glued, you can do anything with it. The seal keeps it watertight. So next we take the frame again and we put it in front. Here we go. And it snaps in from underneath. There you go. So now I have to figure out, can I adjust the depth slightly forward or backward? If it's parallel to the partition, we'll place the laser on the floor so it projects onto both partitions and the ceiling. I don't know why I made things harder by holding the screw from underneath with the washer and nut when it could have been simple. The rail nuts. So the rail nut is actually pretty handy. You just slide it into the rail. Once it makes a small turn and locks, it can't move. Then you simply insert the screws. And you don't make things complicated for yourself. So I put one here with thread locker. Same here on the screw crossbar with the nuts. Rail and thread locker. Here, thread locker, everything is locked in place. Now we just need to lower the left and right rails and slide them onto the frame. We're going to put connectors back here between this crosspiece and the connector post. Same thing here, and we'll add connectors between the left and right rails and the floor. Now I need to pre-drill or mark my spots on the floor. I pre-drilled the wooden floor and we use painted screws, and we'll do the same in the connectors on each side. So I cut the two rails that I'm going to use for my frame. We place one here and so that it holds by itself and is flush with the frame. The little magnet that works well. There you go. Now we can insert the connectors and adjust the alignment. So the corner connector, of course, I could put it in this way, but you can imagine that it's going to get in the way of the drywall, right? This thickness is going to get in my way. So we'll put it like this. So we position it, press down on it and turn it so it locks in place. I don't know if you can see it, but it locks onto the fins. You turn it and there you go. And now all that's left is to bolt it on. We'll do the same for this one. There we go. Press, twist, it's locked in. Press, twist, make sure we're really in the fins. So what I'm going to do is drill into the frame. I'll use the holes that are in the rail as a guide. I'm going to put 4 screws on this side, 4 screws on the other side. So these will be pieces of fabric. Washers, nuts on each side, lock washers, threads, basically the whole package. There we go. Now that's solid. I think we're going to contact one of them and tell them, make us some ninja courses. This holds up really well. Here, I could grab onto it. I can swing, you see what I mean? We shouldn't break the partition as that would cause problems. But I can get back on it, right? I can grab it, right? That's awesome. I'd like to see his reaction when he takes this apart. The cross beam, I didn't have to put it in. I just needed to set these two rails at the same spacing as those ones. Then I put my connector in the corner, and that could have been enough. The cross beam's advantage is I don't have to worry about spacing. It doesn't matter. The frame shifts around. We don't care. We put the uprights on each side, we bolt it all together, and then, no matter where it lands, we put the connector. So that means adding an extra rail, but if you want to save a piece of rail, you just pick up directly from them. So you have to put them the other way. And them? So, for those who are wondering, I intentionally put them this way so that, of course, I can pick up from them again at the frame level. But if I put them the other way and tighten them, it might crush it, you see what I mean? So, I prefer to put them this way. That's also why the cross piece. But actually, this system is like a Meccano set, so you can assemble it however you want. If you have the right connectors, for example, on the Intelligent Power module, we added a bracket, but there are many connectors available. All the links are in the description. You can build it like a Meccano set. I put 100 mem of insulation back between the structure and the sheet metal. There you go. Let's say it's in the same spirit as that, except I couldn't find that type of panel again. The building's pretty old, so we're going to have the 2 layers of insulation like there were before. I didn't mention the frame because I don't install them. It comes with brackets for mounting on any wall, including cinder block, brick, or reinforced concrete. You have this type of mounting. It slides according to the depth at which you install your frame, and you can adjust the orientation. So that's pretty convenient because if your wall is a bit crooked or there's a bump, it doesn't matter. Well, you see, you can adjust for all of that. So it looks like this, and you just place it here, that's all. So then you slide it, you move it forward, or you can turn it. It doesn't matter. Okay, so of course, as I told you, it's provided with the frame. So Valser, it's Valser PP, made of PP, made in Italy. It comes in various diameters, from 32 up to about 160. I'll put all the links in the description. Fittings include 45 and 90-degree elbows, tees, Ys, reducers, basically everything. It's super comprehensive. Okay, so we'll start with the lowest point, a bit of lubricant on the 45-degree elbow. Okay. There we go, it's fitted in. You see, it's this one. I put it in front so you can see it since it was hidden. This one is done. Next, we'll take the longest piece. As you saw, I cut and deburred the pieces. Make sure to deburr. The advantage of the rigid is that it cuts and deburrs at the same time. If you only cut, be sure to deburr properly to avoid damaging the seal. So we're going to take, hop, this one. We put on the lubricant, hop. And we fit it together. It goes really fast. And here, keep in mind that everything you're doing is your final assembly. There's no going back. There's no need to take it apart, use stripper, apply glue, and so on. Have mercy. So here, we fit it together. We snap it in, and this one, I can adjust it. We erase that. The lubricant on it isn't pleasant. Still, I could tell myself, no, it was like this. Oh no, it's like this. Perfect. The little length that's just right. No. So we just have one more 90-degree hop to get out, with a piece of pipe going into the cabinet. So we'll have to drill through the drywall and so on. Here, I've marked everything for my reinforcements, the studs basically, to install the drywall and secure the cabinet. But to tell you the truth, the cabinet, before, it was supposed to go there. There was a suggestion here, and now it's going there. No matter, I adapt, but that's it, it's done. See, there's nothing left. It's not complicated. Actually, there's nothing left to do. Your first assembly is also the final one. There, if I had made a mistake, I could still take everything apart, dismantle everything. For that, it's great, this type of connection. Shifts are done. Now we'll focus on the water supply, starting from the valve and small meter. I've cleaned the small meter and we'll replace the seals. I could swap it, but we'd need to take a reading. Who do I give this to? I don't know, so we're keeping this small meter. Anyway, for now it's working. It has 0 leaks. If one day it needs work, whether it's me or another technician. Ask the company behind this partition for access and to reconnect the supply. I'll install a hatch here, so we can connect to the free nut that's attached to the meter. So I need to supply the faucet to fill the bucket, the vanity unit, my support frame, and for the vanity unit, we're not going to put hot water back. The hot water tank won't be reinstalled, whether it's the old one or a new one.
I'm installing an electrical supply in the cabinet for a small ultra-flat instant water heater, just for company hand washing.
We're not going to get carried away with a water heater that's completely useless, that's oversized for just a hand wash. We install it like that. And later, if they really need to have hot water, I'll step in or another craftsman will to connect everything and of course install it. So, water supply. With Valsir, their multi-layer pipe, the range is extremely complete, all diameters, every possible and imaginable fitting. Straight nipples, angled nipples, union elbows, DT elbows, in short, every kind of union fitting you could possibly connect. For, of course, the toilet and also this fitting, this is the one we want to use for the toilet. We have an O-ring to add, no sealing needed, you just have to tighten the union nut and that's it. Crimping-wise, the Certisa at Valsir uses a TH profile, so I'm using a 20mm TH20. And to install the small valve and my cold water supply for the basin we want to use. This shower plate from Valsir, use 150 spacing for showers or small baths and 50 spacing for cabinets, basins, hot and cold water. If I fold it, I can use just this part for the vanity unit and the other part in either direction. It doesn't matter for my little faucet, simply. So, with a mounting plate, you have 3 options, 150, 50, or just this part. Okay, so, as I told you, all the links are in the description regarding the Valsir multi-layer. And now we're starting again. Here we're working on the frame, a T2 supply, and everything else. Subtitles 501. The small lengths are ready. I just have this one left to cut and deburr, and here it's really important to deburr properly, because you can imagine that the joint in one of the fittings, you must not damage it, so use the calibrator and deburrer on the drill. And there you go, it's very quick, and at least you know it's calibrated, deburred and chamfered. In short, all is well in the best of worlds. We do the same elsewhere. And there you go, it leaves a bit of debris on the floor, but that's okay, we'll vacuum it up. So we put this one here. We have a window, an indicator here. You absolutely have to see the tube in the indicator. Next, we'll take a tea bag and put it here. This is the famous fitting with the O-ring I mentioned earlier. We remove this, so I could put it on the tube or put it on beforehand. I'll put it on beforehand, it's exactly the same. So this one, to put it in place, like this. So it is deburred, chamfered, whatever you want. So here I bent it. So for now they're all deburred. Well, cut size deburred. There, this goes like this, and then I have a piece of tube that will go here, there, and this here, and that's how it looks. And after that, I'll be able to adjust the depth depending on the drywall. And this one, same thing. So, Certisosilti NPR 1922 Neuron battery, TH 20 jaw, since I'm using a 20mm diameter. Fittings and tubes, make sure the tube is in the window. During the indicator, you might say, he's paranoid, but make sure you're fully in and visible. You can see the indicator through the small hole. So we take the crimping tool, the jaw goes around it, the fit-in we press. And that's it. And so here we see a mark on the fitting, we know it's crimped. So this one is done.
And it's finished?
Now we can add water. Remove this small red piece on the frame there, it's off. That activates the transport mechanism, I think. So we'll let that fill up slowly. Next, we'll test with a small bucket. So we'll take the opportunity to check that it's not leaking. The O-ring connection is great, as I mentioned, yes. There will be a small niche with a shelf, so we'll have access to the mechanism and connection. The small homemade connection, that's the tubing we'll use in a moment, which will come here with the small gasket. But for now, I put some tape with a connector so it flows into the bucket, so we're going to remove it. I added lubricant and now it flows into the bucket. Now we just need to flush the toilet. And now it's filling up again. So 0 leaks at the connection. Here, we're all good, perfect, everything's fine, best case scenario. That's great, the little caps fit well and perfect. So, since I got some water for the toilet flush test, I took the opportunity to make some glue. Tile quickly to fill where the old toilet and partition were. We'll test the drainage with the remaining water. I've already emptied a bucket's worth. Let's add more, because if I don't show it, you'll say I didn't test it and it might be leaking. So, 0 leaks at the drainage. And I didn't show you this, but I think you guessed it. There's still a good slope. I also tested the drainage by fitting a piece in the opposite direction with an empty bottle to see what happens. I put tape back on the odor risers. Now I'll remove the drain pipe and replace the cap to block odors. But 0 leaks. Of course, I need to install the box that will hold the trigger plate. I could put it on top, in which case we attach this plate here and it goes on top. So for me, it goes on the front. You can't get it wrong. It's written on the top, Alto top front. There are 2 notches on each side. There we go. And here there you go. So now we're going to put 2 screws on the right and 2 screws on the left. Next, you need to use either BA, 25 2 layers of BA, 13, or a V10 panel. Jacobort, very thick. Plus the finishing, we'll cut all around to install the trigger plate. And here, I'm using specific screws because I'm drilling into the frame, so these are screws for flat plates, but with a self-drilling tip. And so now I'll be able to go through. There we go. The upright fin that sticks out fits into the joint, so it's flush. Careful. And then next, you put the 2 layers. In my case, it's plywood, but of course you can use oriented strand board, and I recommend using 2 layers. I made my own markers to set the right height. Then we bring these 2 studs back in. Just like this, you have to lift it up.
There you go.
The idea is to put screws here, 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 and here, then reattach it so they go through both studs and secure it on the east sides. Will it hold on its own?
Yes.
It's fine. The 2 small reinforcements will work well. Have fun. While we build the structure, use oriented strand board or plywood scraps to make grooves. Place that in the studs for the screws, facing that direction and on the edges. You can also hit it. It's made to stay in place so it'll hold up. The cabinet, which is 80 centimeters wide, isn't very heavy, but there's the sink countertop that goes on top. Try to put in the anchors quickly. For those asking, since I get this question often on past videos, do I always add reinforcements? Do I use anchors? Never. You put the screw directly into the reinforcement, and ideally you use 2 layers. So here it's 2 layers of 18 millimeters, so 36 millimeters. So we pre-drill with half the diameter of the screw. If my screw is 6 millimeters, you pre-drill with 3 millimeters, and then you put in your screw. At the rail, here, the ceiling, what I call the ceiling, is bent in several places. Expansion anchor. I used screws and glue, screws in both directions, and stapled it. Plus the glue, it won't move anymore. And there, I anchored it into the beam and the kind of galvanized crossbar that goes through. I told you that you can hit it, it won't move anymore. Under. So here, we're going to put it like this. Well, in this direction or that direction, it doesn't matter. You have little markers to help you align with your axes. And so now you might say, great, a self-supporting ceiling, but what do we do if we need to access it? And why use 70? So why 70? Quite simply because I have them in stock, I'm using them up. I generally use them for ceilings. Here, given the room size, 48 would have been enough. And in case of any work here, I placed these two studs according to the frame to allow access. So here, there's absolutely nothing except my structure. All the cable conduits run through here. But if one day I need to do some work, I just enlarge the spot, so whether it's me or another craftsman, it doesn't matter. You just need to enlarge the spot. Putting in a 60 by 60 tile, or why not? A 60 by 120 would make for great access. We adjust the intensity to avoid making it like a solarium. With a 60 by 120, it lights up a lot, so we can also adjust the color. We can remove the spotlight or fill everything in, it doesn't matter. And here we have full access to the structure, to the ducts, to everything. And the other advantage is that it gives me a chain around the perimeter because of my partitions. Normally you put in the ceiling and then you build the partitions, except here I didn't have a ceiling. The only ceiling, you could say, was the beam that went across. That's my small tie beam holding the partitions and a simple, effective ventilation system. I put the insulation above the rails so air can flow around the spotlight. Otherwise, you'd need covers. The insulation is 140 millimeters thick, plus the 100 I previously installed. It's just a bit compressed here due to the slope, but it's fine. Now, the electrical connections. I based it on the floor, like I usually do. Do you mark your spots on the floor? It's better than having your arms in the air. We set up the laser, it projects onto the insulation. We go through all of that, and we catch up with the electrical connection. And we'll do the same thing for the drywall. I'll film it for you. Then we cut, we catch up, we connect, we have light, and it's awesome. We're covering this wall with the vanity unit, the other with the partition frame, both using rock panels. The V panels are rock-proof, resistant to water and humidity. Ultra easy maintenance, it's easy to take care of, just a wipe with a sponge and that's it. Composite core, 2 aluminum sheets, digital printing, 260 designs, 5 finishes. This is wild oak. We have a glossy finish, for example, and we also have a textured finish if you want. You pick the pattern and finish you want. They're 1.5 meters long. I already cut them to move them here and into the room, but they're easy to cut. Dream of guidance. 6 plunge cuts for hole switches drain water inlet using 6 hole saws simple. You should know that you can also renovate an old bathroom, an old washroom, or an old toilet. If you have old tiles that you don't want to remove, you'll need to degrease them thoroughly. And if you want to make a shower on plasterboard, that's new construction. You'll need to do waterproofing, what we call under tile waterproofing, either a liquid waterproofing membrane or a sheet membrane. You do your waterproofing and then you install your panels in your shower directly, but it's going to be transformed quickly. There are connecting profiles between the panels, or you can make a joint between the panels, but you no longer have joints every 30 or 40 centimeters, like tiles, for instance. So maintenance is super simple. The finishing profiles in white, silver, black, inner corner, outer corner, joining profiles, connecting profiles. Accessories like end caps, corners, magnetic strips, and shower niches ensure a perfect edge-to-edge finish. Special panels fit support frames and can be used for bathtub aprons or kitchen backsplashes. After that, your imagination takes over. Rupsen FT101, white, gray, or black, choose your color. It doesn't matter at all. The idea is to make little glue dots. Subtyping ST. So we take the panel, we place it in front, we put it in the corner, and we press it. The movie I'll get to later. And there you go, you saw that it goes relatively fast. Second, third, fourth panel subtitling, it's perfect. It feels like we have wood walls, but it's really just panels. Wrought V panel. An important thing, don't attach your item right away, whether it's a piece of furniture, a sink, a toilet, or whatever you've attached to your walls. We wait for the glue to dry before attaching the item, because if you attach it now, since the glue isn't dry, the panel might pop out at the top and bottom. They're no longer flush, so we wait 24 hours for it to dry. Tomorrow, we'll remove the transparent film. I can also attach my vanity unit and toilet bowl, see? So we're going to focus on the flush plate. We take this plate, you can't go wrong. You have the instructions in front of you. There we go, we put it in place. We take this part, there are two of them, one on the right, one on the left, and we slide it in. Okay, like this. We're pretty good, and you can lock it by turning it a quarter turn, like this. We do the same thing here. We put ourselves about halfway where we're comfortable. There, that's pretty good. We take these two little plastic screws that will go inside. For now, we don't lock them in. We intentionally leave them sticking out. We take this plate, place it in front, and it's what will set the depth of my two little plastic screws. I remove it and I know I'm at the right depth. We can lock this one in place. So now we can put the plate back and we'll put in two screws. So let's check that it's level, might as well do things properly, and then don't hesitate to tighten it, there you go. Next, install the two plastic screws, one on the left, one on the right for the trigger. cut them to match your covering's thickness. Mine is 3 mm, so it's almost nothing. If you have 18 mm of melamine or tiles with adhesive, that's about 7-8 mm thick. So you'll need to cut these plastic screws. They can be cut easily with wire cutters depending on the thickness, okay? So we put this through here, catch the thread at the back and screw it in. The final step is inserting the trigger plate from underneath to lift the 2 small tabs. Press it down firmly and lower it back down. So lift it up, press it down and lower it back down. We can install the toilet bowl, but we'll need to cut the tubing and the drain pipe. So for that, we get some lubricant. There we go. We place this against the stop. I'm adding tape. Otherwise, I won't see anything. We position ourselves like this and we make a small mark. There we go. And now we're going to place the tubing at the wall. So we position it. There we go. Like this, always with some lubricant. We get some blue tape, otherwise we won't see anything. Subtitling. And so I take this measurement and I transfer it here and I cut off the excess. Subtitling. So this is the line flush with the bowl, the line flush with the wall. If we measure, we have roughly 75 mm to remove, so it's 75 mm. I'll transfer them here. And so I know that from there, I have to remove everything that's gone. I'll let you check the instructions for your toilet because each toilet can have a different system or a compatible system. Depending on the brand, you'll need to check. It's a bit different for me. I know that I need to have 69 mm here. So I screw. I've already made my mark. There, we shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, we're good. So then, it's not complicated. We take the bowl, we phase the leaking rod, the bubbling tube goes into the bowl with some lubricant, and the drain pipe at the wall also gets some lubricant. We press it firmly, we'll need to tighten it, and of course, make sure the bowl is level. As I mentioned, the panels have a composite core with 2 aluminum sheets. So what's really interesting is that for very light objects, we can drill directly. And since it's aluminum, there will be a little resistance for the screw. However, don't put kitchen cabinets or very heavy things on it. In my case, it's just a mirror, and that will be more than enough. This mirror is very light. So here, I used self-drilling drywall screws because it's a light object that I'm putting up. Nothing heavy. If you need to hang something heavy, you'll have to use the appropriate anchors. So the mirror goes directly into the rail. And I'll say it again, use the appropriate anchors if it's heavy loads. Here the mirror is ultralight, but for a heavier lighted mirror or kitchen cabinets, you'll need proper anchors. The panel is glued with modified Silane polymer LA Rupson FT101. I trust this glue completely. So I took the liberty of putting in 3 self-tapping screws for drywall to go through the aluminum sheets. Since the panel is glued, we're good because it's a light load. Alright, the bowl is done. And last night, before leaving, I took the opportunity to do some painting. That's why we have masking tape. I'll calmly put on my second coat, but in the meantime, we're going to install the vanity unit. I'm filming the reference for you, so you have it. There you go, I'll talk to you about it again. Orlan is the brand, so it's going to go here with the countertop sink. Filming myself in this small room with furniture isn't easy, but we're managing. Luckily, I made the room bigger, or it would have been a nightmare. The furniture brand, as I mentioned, is Orlan. I must commend them for the protection of both the furniture and countertop sink. You can choose any countertop sink model, they offer several. It arrives separately from the furniture but is well packaged. The furniture has polystyrene on all sides along with paper and bubble wrap. Some brands should follow their example. We often have issues like damaged items, but here, damage is impossible. The furniture comes fully assembled. You just need to attach it to the wall. So Olan, hats off for the manufacturing and design because it's well thought out, it's sturdy, it's solid, and it arrives in great condition. Protected Orlan. I knew them. On Mano Mano, you have Mano Mano for individuals. If you're a professional, there's Mano Mano Pro with all the benefits that come with it. Exclusive offers, natural prices, negotiating without tax, simplified invoice management. You can download them directly from your client area. You have dedicated advisors. Optimized delivery. If you're in a hurry, you can get it super fast.
So go check it out. You have all the links in the description.
From Orlan Furniture to the Mano Mano wash basin countertop for private customers and Mano Mano Pro for professionals. Okay, so now all we have left to do is to attach the furniture directly to the wooden reinforcements that I installed and it's set up.
Well, there's nothing left to do unless we're not too dumb.
We'll do it first, install the mixer, and then we'll put in the proper drain, a bucket on each side of the boards, Stanley trade lift. Same here. The idea is to set up the cabinet along the line. It's not complicated. We press here, we press, and we get into position. And there we go. We'll have the line. We do the same on the other side. We press and we'll have the line. If I was too high, well, I can go down very slowly, millimeter by millimeter, with the little yellow nozzle. And there you go. Isn't that nice? We're centered, we're level. The precision is incredible. So I'm pre-drilling with a 3mm bit since my screw is 6mm in diameter. Now, we just need to place the sink on the cabinet and apply a silicone seal to the front and both sides, but definitely not at the back, because if one day you need to change your sink for any reason, like if it breaks, to cut this seal, you need to get on all fours inside the cabinet since the sink has a unique shape. So to cut in the middle, it's going to be a nightmare. We'll do the silicone seal on top of the sink and on the small sides if needed. So here, silicone, no glue, modified Celan polymer. It's very hard to remove and cut. Silicone is more than enough. So this little cabinet here is 80 centimeters wide, olive green color. It comes in different colors. You can go check them all out.
The link is in the description.
The matte white sink countertop has a built-in overflow. We avoid complications by not connecting it to the drain. I installed the click-clack stopper myself. And the mixer tap, just the classic kind. The fronts are slightly wavy. It makes little waves. It's all beautiful. The handles are molded so nothing sticks out. There you go, you can grab it very easily, and there are brakes on the slides. You can also easily remove the drawers. It's big, it's spacious. Same here, there you go, it's big, it's spacious, and of course there are brakes on the slides. The furniture was already really well packed, plus it's high quality, so honestly, we could go for it with our eyes closed. the little niche that's going to go right here, made out of medium density fiber board. So I could have chosen the same color as the furniture, repainted this the same color as the furniture, or even in white, but I didn't have anything. Except for black medium density fiberboard, which will work just fine. So black medium density fiberboard it is. We measure, cut the 18mm boards and screw them in. Simple. On the front, 1 centimeter thick black medium density fiberboard glued with neoprene adhesive. It's perfect. I used a hole saw on the board, routed around it, and this is the result. I quickly sanded the edges here since they were extremely sharp. I sanded everything but need to do a bit more before applying varnish. But for now, I'll just put it in place to show you, because if I start varnishing it, I won't be able to handle it. Alright, before putting the niche back and varnishing it, I'll show you the inside of the structure. There's still the old mirror, the old tiles. I'd need a stronger lamp so we can film down to the floor. But what interests me is the access here. I removed the small screws. I have access knowing that I can also get in through the flush plate. And most importantly, my connection. So the access is complete. While we're dealing with the access panels, let's continue with this one. And for those wondering about the hose, it's because it has a lot of pressure. We'll put a bucket underneath in a moment, you'll see. So a piece of hose is cleaner than a Gardena connector with a piece of pipe, and you can put an aerator at the end. So the small access panel, why white? Well, simply because visually you see it right away. We could have put an invisible panel like the wall covering. Except that if one day someone is in their office and they're told, oh, it's the panel in the corner. Oh, right, but I have nothing to open it with. I need a suction cup. Or at worst, they might damage the wall with a screwdriver. There, white, we tell them. It's the white panel in the corner. You'll see it right away. We could even put a sticker on it. Valence, stop by the office machine. See what I mean? So you press on it, it opens by itself, and you have full access to the valve, the meter, and the connector. The loose nut, we close it back up. They can even hide whatever they want in there. It doesn't matter. See, and it's clean. And for those who are also wondering, I glued it. I didn't screw it in. You have tabs that fold down. You're supposed to put in screws, but if one day you want to open it up, make it bigger. And if the screws are hidden behind the paneling, it's a nightmare. Just run a utility knife around and it comes off. The last piece of the puzzle, the niche made of medium density fiberboard that you push to the back. If one day I need to do some work or someone else does, we just remove it. And we have access to the fitting that's placed on this side and also on top of the frame, knowing that we also have access through the trigger plate. So, Michel, I'm giving you a 0 for your sea bream, which was disgusting, and for your activity. I really invested myself, but dinner was terrible. We could create an almost perfect toilet. We visit people daily and criticize their toilets. Oh, you renovated it 2 years ago? No, it's not good, Michel. See what I mean? It's over. The partition came down, making the space bigger. We have under 4 square meters after removing the linings, but it's still big enough. It almost seems like a disabled accessible restroom, but it lacks a grab bar. The door is 92 centimeters wide, but you'd still need an accessible toilet and sink. But we're not far from it, okay? I'm really satisfied. It's a big change from that old beige, right? The Rode V-panel nickel panels, I'm impressed. The Orla nickel cabinet, really well packed, sturdy. Didn't mention the polyvinyl chloride strips. They clip on and can be cut with a box cutter. They're grey, concrete-like, and will work well. The baseboards, I haven't mentioned them to you at all. They're polyvinyl chloride baseboards. Initially, I didn't want baseboards. Then I thought, let's just use polyvinyl chloride baseboards with the panels and paint. That'll work. Okay. So the decor is one thing, but the technical part is the most important part. The Veltier support frame needed to be strong. On a wooden floor with plasterboard panels, we wouldn't get far. So, rail tool support directly on the framework.
It's anchored to the floor. Veltier, water inlets, drainage, and everything else run behind the wall linings.
I removed the small faucet with the hose. Remember your access hitches. Close the valve and check the meter. I have access to the loose nut. Here I can remove it. I have access to my fitting. If we ever need to install a shower head, replace the toilet bowl, or add a toilet in front, I can provide electrical supply. If it's a shower head, I can pull it out easily since I have enough clearance. Double layer at the passage and ceiling. Remove the spotlight 60-60 or 60-100 at slab level. I have full access, and the offices around this toilet have 60-60 tiles, so I always have access. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry it's a bit long, but I wanted one episode, otherwise we'd be yelling on a big construction site. Definitely the biggest project on the channel, not in terms of area, but in terms of work. It's a small 50-60 square meter house with a garage to renovate, but everything is in terrible condition. Electricity, plumbing, floor, walls, ceiling, everything needs to be redone. So there's going to be a huge amount of work in this house. A lot of tips. I'm filming everything for you. I also need to change the garage door and the service door that leads to the garden. I'm even moving it for the future water heater, but like I said, in the house we're gonna have a blast because it's such a mess. For me, the worse it is, the better. It's that simple. It may sound strange, but I need chaos to enjoy myself.
So we'll see that very soon.
I want the SUS episodes released in July, August, and September. Also, remember my utility poll. Which model do you have and why? Are you satisfied with it? What do you use it for? Tell me everything about it. And if you enjoyed this video, feel free to share it, like it, and leave a comment. It helps the channel grow, of course, but at least it's motivating. It shows that we're not doing all this for nothing. Thank you for watching this video. We'll meet again for that famous 60 square meter renovation project. In the meantime, take care.